If you are interested in a career in environmental stewardship, but might not have all of the educational requirements that many jobs are looking for these days, then this video is for you. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie, and 2 years ago I graduated from the University of Maryland with a degree in environmental science and policy, and since then I've been working as an energy and sustainability consultant at a firm in Washington, D.C. And I'm here to share with you everything that has to do with careers in sustainability. Today I wanted to share a few tips for landing a job in sustainability if you do not have a college degree. Now, a quick disclaimer that I realize I do have a college degree, so I haven't exactly gone through this process myself, but a lot of these strategies do carry over. This is what I would do if I were an ambitious high school graduate that just wanted to get into the workforce, but also contribute to the environmental movement. So today our agenda consists of two primary items. The first is how to find an environmental job, and the second is how to actually land it. So the first thing you're going to want to consider doing is demonstrating your skills for free. Now, this does require a certain level of privilege in the sense that you need the time and energy to actually do a little bit of free labor or volunteer work, but I do think it truly pays off in the end. Now, most job postings today on LinkedIn or Indeed are from larger companies that can afford to bump up those positions to the top and to keep them there month after month. So they often have hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants already, and that's especially if it's a remote position. That said, it will be a lot easier to apply to a position at a local company where you know someone inside. And by demonstrating your skills for free, you will get the good graces of that inside employee and therefore increase your chances of actually landing that job. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is do a little bit of self-reflection. See what kind of competitive advantages you have, what skills you can bring to the table. I recommend getting out a notebook and doing a quick brainstorming session, just jotting down all of the skills that you have. They can be customer service, public speaking, writing, data analysis, but they can also be things like gardening, landscaping, client services, things like that. Figure out what are specific advantages to you, what skills you are best at, and then find areas where you can do those things without a paycheck. For now. If you can't find a concrete volunteering position, then you can spend time on a project that interests you and that showcases your skills. Then later, when you are going to apply to your dream position, you can show them that project and it will give you leverage in your application. So what does this look like? Let's walk through an example. So let's take Sally. Sally is a 19-year-old high school graduate who's really interested in saving the planet. Broadly. She doesn't want to spend the time or money in college, understandable, and she knows she has the work ethic and the drive to make a difference right now, and she's really eager to do so. So Sally opens up her laptop and she researches her county's Parks Department website and looks at upcoming volunteer opportunities. She chooses a stream cleanup at her favorite park and just in time for Earth Day. So Sally goes to the cleanup, makes a ton of new friends, and starts talking to the leader of the cleanup. Let's call her Margot. Sally and Margot really hit it off. They talk about the park, how impactful it was to Sally's childhood, and they talk about the seasonal changes to the park, the ecology and the biodiversity, and what kind of access the surrounding communities have to that park. Sally decides to go to the next stream cleanup, and the next one, and the one after that. Sally and Margot keep talking, and Sally starts suggesting ideas that could improve the stream cleanups and the park system as a whole. So at this point, Sally and Margot have developed a very strong rapport, a semi-professional relationship, if you will, and there's an opening on Margot's team. She asks Sally if she would be interested in applying, and she lands the job. Now, I realize this is just one example, and it does take putting yourself out there, being very consistent, and quite a bit of luck and patience before you end up landing that job. But doesn't all great things come with a little bit of patience? And this is just one example for parks and recreation. You could do a similar process with campaigning, graphic design, writing, social media, you name it. If you are looking for a more creative job like graphic design, start developing your portfolio and create samples that you could show to a hiring manager. Providing a sample without them asking is huge, and you can just send it to them on LinkedIn. With these more creative roles, always make sure that the samples you're providing have something to do with the environment, again, just to showcase your passion and show that you can create media related to the company's goals. So by volunteering your time and your energy, you can quickly make some pretty solid connections, and that is the ticket to landing your job. Now, the second thing you will want to consider is doing a social media inventory. Most, if not all, hiring managers in this current age are checking your social media before they hire you. It's important to do a little bit of self-reflection and put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes. Go through your own social media platforms and evaluate 3 things: what you post, who you follow, and the platforms that you're spending the most time on. So first, you'll want to look at what you post. And again, passion is important. Posting or reposting things that have something to do with the industry, things like being outdoors, going to parks, gardening, eating local, or going to farmers markets, photos of wildlife, green infrastructure projects like solar panels or rain gardens or green roofs. The list goes on. You could post a number of things that have to do with the environment or just being outside. Most likely, if you are really passionate about this, then posting these things won't be that hard. But again, it's important to show the hiring manager through your social media that you are really committed to this. Second, you'll want to take an inventory about who you follow. You'll want to follow leaders in sustainability like Greenpeace, Earth Alliance, Earth Justice, the intersectional environmentalist, people who stand for what you believe in and can also teach you a few things if you go and follow them. So if you're filling your feed with sustainable companies and creators, you will already have a grasp on the hot topics and baseline principles of the industry before even entering it. Finally, you'll want to go through your phone's screen time analytics and see what social media platforms you're spending the most time on, and consider making time limits for apps that aren't necessarily career focused. So for example, allowing more time for an app like LinkedIn and less time for an app like TikTok might be beneficial if you're really trying to get this job and steer you in the direction of landing your dream career. All right, so we've gone over 2 main things to do if you are trying to land a job in sustainability without a college degree. If you remember, the first one is to demonstrate your skills for free, and the second one is to do a social media inventory. So finally, this third one, and you all saw it coming, it is to update your resume. This is not as specific to environmental careers, but it is incredibly important. And you will want to tailor your resume to the specific jobs that you're interested in. You'll want to round it out with some technical skills that do relate to the positions you're applying for. And if you feel your resume might be lacking some technical skills, well, social media skills are easy to learn. You can start messing around with graphic design on Canva for free, or start figuring out how to make and edit videos on TikTok. And if you have access to LinkedIn Learning, they provide a number of courses on coding to graphic design to things like leadership and project management. And then before you send that resume in, it's always just a good idea to have a second set of eyes on it. You don't have to ask the same person every time you apply to something, but it is a good idea to have someone who has never seen this resume before look at the job description and look at your resume and see if they line up. You guys, the environmental field has so many different opportunities for passionate and hardworking people like yourself. And if you put yourself out there, stay consistent with your network and your outreach, and spend some time honing that resume, you can have a meaningful job that does help the environment in no time. So I do hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe and let me know in the comments what other kind of videos you want to see. Bye!